Hey guys, happy Monday to you. Hope everybody's week is starting out pretty good. Um, it's just me tonight. Unfortunately, Rick could not make it to the show. He had something going on, so he is unable to make it. So, hey, life happens. We always say family first. Hey, I've missed a couple weeks with being sick and funerals and stuff. So, hey, no big deal at all. Um, so it's going to be a little interesting. I don't like basketball. I don't know much about it. We're going to have some fun with it. Like I said again, hope everybody is doing well. Um, I just want to say hi to people in chat. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Denise. Hey, Gary. I think that's. I saw Denise in here. I said Denise already. Yeah, that's it so far on the chat that I have, at least. Um, and Gary mentioned something in here. What did he say? Oh, I saw that there was several Zanzibar channels. Yeah, I know. Um, hey, there's Kitty Cat. Hey, Kitty Cat. Where did I can't find it? I cannot find it. I had to scroll through. Here it is. I had to scroll through all of them, but find Paul Zanzibar. You know what? What I might end up doing is just not doing it on a separate channel. Just do it over on Paranormal Among Us. Um, that might be a little bit easier, and just I'll still name it Zanzibar, but it'll just be on the Paranormal Among Us platform, just like Tex has all kinds of different shows under his platform and everything. So I might end up doing that. That way, um, that people don't get confused when we talk about it. Do you know there are 100 different shows named Zanzibar? There's also a country, and one of my favorite songs is a Billy Joel song, which really got me to like it a lot. So that's where I got it from. And actually, when I heard that song, I didn't realize it was a country named Zanzibar. So yeah, I think that I think that's what we might do. Uh, yeah, that's what we're gonna do next time. So love Billy Joel. Yeah, I've seen him many times. Uh, he's a fantastic artist, and I don't know if you've seen him in recent years. Uh, he's not moving around too good. I saw that he fell in one of his concerts um, not too long ago, maybe towards the end of last year. So, everybody's getting older. He's what? He's close to 80, I think. Um, but little story about today. I was took me forever to make dinner. We had what I call cod manure, but it's French. My son got it when he was got the recipe when he was in uh, French class during COVID, which was homeschool. Um, but it's sole minier or something like that. But I call it sole manure. But we can't find sole anywhere, so we had cod minier. Um, um, what happened there? That was weird. Florida versus Houston live. I don't know what that is. Did that come? Did anybody else see that? I guess it came through on Paranormal Among Us because I don't see it on Zanzibar over here. That was weird. Let hang on one second, and we will get to that here shortly. So I'm pulling it up on my phone. Huh. So I have Zanzibar. Oh no, wait, hang on. That came up on Zanzibar, I believe. So hang on one second. I'm going to switch. Not now. That's really weird. So, oh, thank you, Gary. Um, so I have it up. I saw it on StreamYard. I just saw that, but I have Paranormal Among Us on my phone, Zanzibar on my iPad, and it didn't show up either way. Maybe Gary got to it before I could pull it up. So anyway, appreciate you, Gary. What was I saying? Oh, the dinner. I started it at like 5:35. It was on Paranormal Among Us. Okay, cool. I started at like 5:35 or something, and my wife was on her way home. The whole thing was going to be, I was going to have it done by the time she got home. She had a bad day. I was going to have it done, ready to go for her. It didn't get up to temp until maybe 6:10, and I forgot to make. I was supposed to make cauliflower, and I forgot to make that. So we just had leftover corn on the cob and everything. But it was kind of I was still eating like 5 minutes ago, and I came running downstairs, turned my computer on, turned the TV on. I got the Blues game on in front of me. I got the TV back there going with the background thing. So I really haven't had time to sit and take a breath. There. So next week we're gonna not do Zanzibar channel, not do it on the Zanzibar channel. We're just gonna do Paranormal Among Us channel. That way it'll get be easier to find. And as far as many more paranormal Pauls in this world, heaven forbid there's more of me. Look out. Hi, Jason. How you doing? How you doing, sir? Welcome on in here, buddy. So, the Final Four. I have not. I said before that this is the only real time that I would ever watch basketball, and I have not watched a single second of it, which is kind of bad, having the sports show and everything. But I was kind of hoping Rick would help me out tonight with details and stuff, but that's all good. From what I understand, the games on Saturday, it was Florida and Auburn and Houston and Duke, I think it was. Oh, wait. Here's the bracket right here. Yeah, like I can read that. Yeah, Houston and Duke. So I you know what? I took some notes, and they're upstairs. So one thing I do remember is that this is the first time since 2008 where all four number one seeds made it to the Final Four. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the March Madness brackets, there are 4 sections. Wait, where to go? There are 4 sections. I don't know. East, West, or East, Midwest, West, and South. I don't know why there's no North. That's weird. And each one has a 1 through 16 or 18 seed. And each number one seed made it to the Final Four, which is kind of cool. Usually there's a Cinderella team that was going to make it that goes to the Final Four. I know Gonzaga was one of them that has had pretty good runs. I can't remember any other ones, but it was kind of interesting to watch from what I understand. I didn't see any highlights at all from the Florida Auburn game, but I hear the Duke Houston game was just fantastic. Houston came back at the very end in less than a minute. I don't know the scores or anything, but they came back and won it pretty much at the end, which is, any kind of playoff system that you have, that's what you're looking for. You don't want these blowouts and everything. Hi, BJ. Hi, Roger. Um, no, KU didn't do good. Mizzou didn't do good. Illinois did win. Um, I had a bracket filled out. I was going to turn it in at work, but then I decided to get sick instead, and I just checked it today, and it was just awful. I didn't get many right. I just zoomed in on it so I can see. On the south and west side, I got a lot right. I did have Florida in the Final Four. I had them going to the national championship, but I also had Kentucky coming out of the Midwest. I actually had Houston losing to Gonzaga, which they did not. Oh well. So it looks like the final score was 70-67, Houston over Duke, and Florida beat Auburn 79-73. So what I thought that we could do again tonight, like we did with the Super Bowl, let's go around and let's give predictions. The game is tonight, actually. It might actually be on now. I don't know what time it's on. Let me get this off the screen. How do I do that? Help. There we go. So now I know nothing about basketball. I don't know how you guys out there in YouTube land are either. If you know much about it, if you do, great. If not, who do you think is going to win? Not Kentucky, Florida against Houston. And if you dare to venture a score, and I'll text Rick before next week, and we're going to see, just like we did with the Super Bowl, who got closest. So my prediction is going to be Houston 84-79 over Florida. Hi, Kitty. Thanks, BJ. She's doing double duty on Paranormal Among Us and on Zanzibar. But so for those of you just coming in, Gary was telling me or mentioning that there's a lot of different Zanzibars out there. So, and none of them have anything to do with sports. It's all mostly the country, the song, all kinds of weird things like that. So, hey, Kelly, how you doing? Thank you for joining us today. So what we're going to do starting next week is we're just going to put it all on Paranormal Among Us, and we're just going to call it Zanzibar. So it's not going to be the normal Paranormal Among Us show. It's going to be Zanzibar. So with that said, next week, don't bother looking for the Zanzibar. Those of you who subscribed over there, I do appreciate you doing that. I think I jumped about 25 when I first relaunched this. So I do appreciate all that, but I think we're going to just scrap the Zanzibar channel and move on over to Paranormal Among Us. So, okay, what we're doing now, again, is give me your predictions for the game. I don't care if you know basketball or not. Just, pick a team. This is fun. No one's going to win anything. Pick a team. And this is how most people win. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to do weekly football pool at work. And my mom would always pick the Dolphins over the Colts. I like Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins. And she won a lot. So, hey, this is how people win. So, hey, if you do this, maybe you can quick run to a bookie and get this done. So, okay, so I have Houston 84-79. Denise, let's see. Paul, Denise, Houston 72, 72-64. Okay. Mickey, I hope I can read this. Houston, Houston 82-22. Mickey, I that's funny. Gary, he's got Houston I can't type 102 to 94. One thing I do know, BJ, the Dolphins play basketball. I'll go with them for your mom. So what was I going to say? One thing I do know is, and I probably should have said this before, but who cares? Houston does have a pretty good defense. So that said, they could still put up 94 points. Who knows? So if anybody else wants to throw a prediction in there, feel free. So, and again, I don't know that I'm going to. I probably won't watch this tonight. I'll probably just check the highlights out tomorrow. But it is a cool deal. The NCAA Final Four is just a big deal. And really, this is the only time I ever really watch college basketball. I could care less about it, and certainly could care less about the NBA. Mickey, I have to be the odd one out. Yep, that's why we love you, Mickey. But so right now. And I probably won't watch, like I said, I won't watch the Final Four. The NHL is coming down to the wire here. There's about a week left in the regular season. This is my favorite time of the year. You got baseball starting up. Hockey playoffs are going. BJ, Houston, 54-40. It's going to be a defensive showdown. Gary, you never know. I mean, that looks like it could be an overtime score. I mean, these two teams are pretty tight, so I think that has a very distinct possibility. But again, I don't have a freaking clue. But what I was saying before, hockey playoffs is my favorite time of the year. It's just really, really intense hockey right now. And the Blues are playing the Winnipeg Jets. I know there was somebody from Ottawa. Somebody was in here from Ottawa, and somebody from Vancouver too, I think. But yeah, I'll be watching. Actually, I got it on right now. I'll be watching the Blues game. They're playing the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg is currently the number one team in the West. They will probably get the number one seed. The Blues, however, about a month ago, and I'm not saying this because I'm a homer and that's my team. About a month ago, they were on the outside of the playoff wild card looking in. So just so you know, Danielle Diva is going to be on at 7:00 Central. So she'll be on here in a few minutes. The top eight, or the top 8 teams in each conference make the playoffs in hockey. And so in each conference, there's 2 divisions. It's in the West, it is the Pacific and the Central. In the East, it's the Metropolitan, and I don't remember the other one. But the top 3 in each division automatically go. They get the 1 through 6 seed. And then there's 2 wild cards in each division. And that's the 7th and 8th place team. For the longest time, the Blues were terrible this year, and they were out of it. About a month ago, they were maybe, I would say, 6 or 8 points out of the playoff run. And they are now ahead. They are in 7th place. So they are well ahead of the in the wild card chase to get in the playoffs. And they've won 12 in a row, which sets a franchise record. I don't know how many, what the longest winning streak is in the NHL, but 12's up there. So tonight they could get 13. They are 8. They're 95. They're about 8 points up on the last team that's out of the playoffs. So they could wrap it up here pretty soon. But they're playing some fantastic hockey. I mean, everybody is the teams that are in it. It's everybody is so close right now, especially in the West. just a few points separate 1 through 6. I mean, they can just anything can happen. And it's to me, it's just the best time. It's every second matters, every hit matters, every goal matters. It's just so fun to watch. Yes, Mickey, I wholeheartedly agree. I know there's been a couple preseason games played in Kansas City. They've had pretty good turnout. The Blues, I believe, have played a couple exhibition games out there and have a pretty good following out in Kansas City, from what I understand. But yeah, I would love to see a team out in Kansas City. I know they're possibly expanding soon. So I don't know. Maybe Kansas City will get one. And I don't know if Houston will get one too. That might be a good city for an expansion team. But who knows? They might get one too. I just got a thing on here. NBA, is that? Oh, it's NBA Live. I'm sorry. I saw the wrong thing on the bottom of my screen. So, anybody have any questions? Want to talk about anything? I was planning on doing a members only episode today, but I got home early from work, and I needed to cut grass. I'm going to be out of town the next 2 days for work, and I needed to cut grass. And I cut my neighbor's grass. She's a older lady, so she doesn't get out to cut grass much. So I cut her grass, and I cut our grass today, and I just ran out of time to do that. I have a very interesting story to share. BJ knows the story to share with everybody, but I'm going to save that for a members only show. And eventually, we don't have anything set in stone right now, but BJ will be on the show probably end of May, I think it was. BJ, you might be coming on. She's got some other shows that are coming out that she talked to, and we want to wait for them to we'll be courteous to them. I don't want to steal anybody. But she's had some fantastic experiences, and we had an interesting experience. Let's just leave it at that right now. And she's going to share that experience along with some other things. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in. It was snowing a little bit. Where are you at, Kevin? So that's coming down the pipeline here in. Oh wow, May is next month. That was a weird sound. So that's coming up here in about a month and a half, maybe. I don't know. We'll work out a date and time for that. Northeast Indiana. So I mentioned that I was going to be out of town, and I'm not really looking too forward to this trip, but it is what it is. It's a work trip. So I work at a meat market. So there's a food show up in Detroit that we're going to. We're leaving tomorrow morning. We'll be back Wednesday night. So I'll be going up there bright and early tomorrow morning. I was kind of hoping that I would have some time to maybe go and see BMR or see somebody else that's up in Michigan, up in Detroit area. But unfortunately, I'm not the one planning this, and they have pretty much our day set up. So we're flying in at I think we land at 1:00. We were supposed to go to a Detroit Tigers game, which was going to be tomorrow night, but due to extreme cold temperatures, they moved the game to 1:00. So we have free tickets. Everything's free. Didn't have to pay for anything, which is fantastic. Here is BJ will be on Ry Voss's show, Kodega, on April 13th. and then she's also on Matt Emsh's show. I don't remember when that's going to be. But then she will be on Paranormal Among Us. And it's going to be cool. So you're going to want to tune into that. Make sure you tune into that. So yeah, I was hoping to get to hang out with BMR for a little bit, but instead they moved the baseball game up to 1:00. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to land, get a rental car, and go straight to the ballpark. Not the best thing that I wanted to do. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But the ballpark, the company that's putting on the food show got us the baseball tickets, and then there's going to be a dinner afterwards, and then the food show all day on Wednesday, and then we'll fly home Wednesday night. So, it's a free trip, and I'm going to be eating a lot of food. Yeah, I'll wave to BMR as I fly over. It's a shame. I would love to met up with him. I mean, we all, it's weird. We all know each other on YouTube and everything. And I met him once. He was, where were they going? He came into St. Louis and he was meeting up with Krista, and they were going to drive down somewhere. I can't remember where they were going. Texas? Alabama? I don't know. They're going to someplace. And they all, one night he got in, and they were eating dinner at a bar, and Krista texted me and said, "Hey, just come on out and meet BMR and have dinner with us and a few drinks." And so I did. So yeah, Krista's just about 45 minutes northwest of me. Brandy's probably about 2 hours south of me. So Anniston, Alabama, that's where they were going. So thank you, Gary. Where would we be without you, Gary? Hope you're doing good, buddy. I know you said you were tired, but sure beats the alternative. So we're all praying for you, Gary, and everything, and hope everybody else is doing well in chat. I don't want to say why, but please keep Pam in your prayers. She had a little family event going on that she needs some prayers. So, guys, keep Pam in your thoughts and prayers too. Slowly improving, Gary. That's awesome. This getting older stuff, it's not fun. I had my knee replaced back in 23. It's been okay. I'm never going to be back to normal, but it is what it is. Jason, your name is green. Yes, somebody gifted you a membership. When was it? I saw it. Maybe it was Saturday. It was either this past Saturday or the Saturday before. But if you would have noticed it green before. But yeah, you got gifted, sir. And I believe it was T-Bone that gifted it to you. So T-Bone's a awesome dude. And thanks again, everybody. That's one thing that I just really appreciate everybody being here and checking us out week after week, Saturday after Saturday, Monday after Monday. That's all I can ask for, is that you guys just show up and chat and support us that way. But the donations are fantastic, and the memberships are awesome too. And but none of that's expected, but it's very much appreciated. But anyway, anybody else have a guess on the score? Jason, what we did earlier, I don't know if you were here before. We were taking guesses for the Final Four game tonight, the championship game tonight. Houston against Florida. Let's see. I thought somebody said Florida was going to win. but I don't think anybody picked Florida. So I have Houston 84-79. Denise has Houston 72-64. Mickey has Houston 82-22. Gary has Houston 102-94, and BJ has Houston 54-40. But yeah, just throw out a guess. No, it's certainly not an educated guess on basketball on my part. Just throwing out numbers, so it's just for fun, just for bragging rights on the show. So, Jason, you came in just a few minutes ago. Next week, and I know I've been saying this, next week it's always going to be on Zanzibar. So once again, Gary mentioned before that there's a lot of different Zanzibars. We're going to scrap the Zanzibar channel, and we're just going to move on to Paranormal Among Us on Monday nights. And it's still going to be on the Paranormal Among Us channel, and it's still going to be Zanzibar on the Paranormal Among Us channel. No more separate channel for each one of these. It's all going to be on Paranormal Among Us. It was kind of going back and forth that which should we do, but I think this is I think that's going to be the best way. Instead of trying to build up subscribers and everything, we're just going to go with Paranormal Among Us and everything. So I think that's what we're going to do. Oh man, I had something else in my head. Oh, if you guys, anybody in chat would happen to know of anybody, that plays sports, whether it's college, former pro or something like that, or is a referee or something like that, somebody that might have an interesting sports story, send me their name. The email is paranormalamongus72@gmail.com. Send me their name, and I'd like to get rolling on some guests on this show. Talking sports is fun. Me and Rick, but I don't know nothing about basketball, so I don't think listening to me for an hour talking about basketball, making stuff up, I don't think that's too fun. But I do have some other guests in mind. I know there's some St. Louis sports figures that I was going to have on. There's some one guy that has been on the radio for years, and he's just an encyclopedia of sports knowledge. I'm going to try to get him on, try to get some other former athletes on and everything. And Rick and I have talked about it too. His son, I know he's talked about it. His son is a baseball player in college up in Columbus, Ohio. And he travels, and he's a freshman, and he's starting on the varsity team. So that's a pretty good thing. So I'm going to try and have him on. I have a friend of mine who his son is a pitcher. Unfortunately, he's hurt and is out for the year. But I'm going to have him on. But that's just people that I know, and that's neat and all. All I know about sports is watching my grandkids. Bring them on; that'll be fun. I like talking to kids. That would be certainly would be interesting and fun listening to little kids talk about their favorite sports. You know what? That just kind of rung a bell. I mean, Kevin, send me an email. I want to. If I don't know if you'd want your grandkids on being interviewed or whatever, but that might be kind of fun. The hearing from little kids who play Little League baseball or something. Or oh yeah, I forgot. Matt Emsch is a sports announcer. Really, that's what I wanted to do when I was first getting into broadcasting. I called a couple of football games and I loved it, but life happened and I had to give that up. But unfortunately, unfortunately, a 52-year-old, it's hard to get back into broadcasting at that age. Uh, but hey, that's what I got this for. Um, so anyway, guys, so keep that in mind. If you guys have any names that you want to do, I might reach out to Matt and see if he would come on and talk some football. I might wait for football season to start, high school football season. I might wait for that. So that would be pretty interesting. Can't wait for baseball, Denise. Baseball started, Denise. Don't know if you know that. But yeah, that's once the hockey playoffs are over, then my attention just goes all the baseball. But right now, at least for my Cardinals, and you know what, I like baseball. I don't know if anybody else does this. Let me know if this rings true to you guys. I recently got access to all the games. I could sit and watch two teams out of the St. Louis market here play a hockey game, meaning like Detroit against Columbus, for example. I could watch them play hockey all night. I could watch that and not get bored. But I tried to watch different baseball teams, and I think I was watching Milwaukee against Cincinnati. It just I don't know. And that could be another thing. Is baseball becoming more of a boring sport? I don't know. It certainly is fun being at a ballpark and watching it. Although, if the game is bad and the team isn't doing good, then you end up watching people more than you do the game. But that's an interesting thing. Do you think you could sit through two teams that aren't one of your favorites play a baseball game? I can't. I tried and I can't. And even before, watching like the game of the week on Fox or NBC or whatever it was on, ESPN, I could maybe watch an inning or two. I mean, even the All-Star game, that's gotten kind of boring. But I can watch, and I'm sure each person's different. I know people that talk baseball and can tell you the stats on every single team. Compared to watching paint dry, it's exciting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, even watching golf is more exciting. I want to take the kiddo to a game. I just want to pay for parking, and it's so expensive to go to a game. If you're not into it, really, it's a waste of a lot of money. And I don't know what Mickey's out in near Kansas City. I don't know what the ticket prices are out there, but I mean in St. Louis, I mean they're not terrible, but it's just expensive to do anything really. And even parking is high. I know for when the Cubs come to town here in St. Louis, the Cubs are a big rivalry. Parking in one lot's going to be $40. And then if another team comes in, say the Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates or something, it's down to $20. It's crazy. They're pricing everything that the average working person can't afford to go to. And that's a shame. And when we had the Rams, I would have loved to have gone to a few Rams games, but I just couldn't afford it. Love my Detroit Lions football. Yes, sir. And I'm not saying that because of BMR or anything, but ever since Detroit started winning, even before that, I was kind of rooting for the underdog. I think that's why I like the Rams when they first came here, because they were horrible. but I like seeing a team that hasn't had much winning experience, do good. And Detroit has certainly proven that they went from not doing good to very good. Detroit Tigers too. So, Jason, if you could answer this, you live in Washington. Did you used to live in Michigan, or are you just a fan of Detroit sports? And I am going to a Tigers game tomorrow, Jason. This is where I draw my line. I will not root for Michigan. Oh, you did. You were in Michigan. Okay, awesome. That makes sense then. I mean, people in different parts of the country like other teams. Like I know there's somebody on here, Northern California Cub fan. I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen him in any other chats, so I hope he's okay. But I always give him a hard time because of the Cardinals and Cubs rivalry. So Jason was in Saginaw, Michigan. That's awesome, Jason. Little Patty, sorry, 20 push-ups because you're late. Kidding. Rick had something going on that he could not make it, so I gave him the night off. No, he couldn't make it, and he'll be back next week. So you just get me tonight, and we're wrapping it up here soon. So, but I want to leave you with one cool, well, not really cool story. And if my wife is watching this, sorry, she'll probably hate me for telling this story. So when the Cardinals opened their new stadium back in 2006, before my son was born, my dad was still alive, and he wanted to get season tickets. So that kind of piqued my interest, and I went to the wife and said, hey, you know what, let's before our son gets here, okay, let's get this guy out of here. Okay, I don't know who that Florida Houston Live thing was. Patty. So we decided to get season tickets, a half season ticket plan. So it was fun. We had our 2 seats, my wife and I, and my dad had 2 seats. So a lot of times it was me and my wife and my dad and his brother, which was fun. And we took different people when my uncle couldn't go or anything. So it was a fun year. It was hot. We were in the direct sun, sitting out in the outfield bleachers and stuff. But man, it was fun. Anybody who is a baseball fan, who has a father who's a baseball fan, knows how fun that is to spend time with your dad watching baseball. And it was pretty darn cool watching him enjoy the game so much and everything. So, but anyway, little did we know in 2006 the Cardinals would make the playoffs. For some reason, my wife and I didn't make the first round. I think we were on vacation someplace. I can't remember where we went, but we didn't make the first round. But we were back in time for the second round, and the Cardinals kept winning. They kept winning. They ended up going to the World Series. I can't remember what game it was. Let's just say it was game 2. It might have been game 3. I don't know. My wife couldn't make it to the game for some reason, and I sold a ticket to a friend of mine. Unfortunately, the game got rained out. So that game was made up as game 5. So game 4 rolls around. We all go to the game, and the Cardinals won it. And they were up 3-1 at that point after game 4. So, and it's a best of 7 series. So I just banned this guy. Okay. I don't know who that was, but they got banned on both, I believe. So anyway, game 5 rolls around. I didn't have the my friend ended up going to the game. So it was my dad, a friend of his, me, and oh, Mickey, no problem. No problem. Um, Me and my friend were at the game 5. It was cold. It was really cold. And the Cardinals won the World Series that night. And, I was there in the middle of everything, watching the team celebrate and everything. Unfortunately, my wife was at home by herself. Uh, that's a sore subject around our house. She was not happy for a while, and I completely understand that. So, so we eventually get over it. But it's just really cool being at my dad was a lifelong Cardinal fan. I'm a lifelong Cardinal fan. They're playing terrible now, but they're still my Cardinals. So, but it was just really cool sitting right next to my dad when they won the World Series, and I had a camcorder there, and I was recording parts of the game, and I after they won, we were all going crazy, and I just panned over to Dad, and he had just a huge smile on his face, and that was pretty cool. So certainly one of oh, Denise, I'm a lifelong Yankee fan. Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to see the Yankees tomorrow. The first, I might have seen them when they were here one time, but I'll see the Yankees and the Tigers tomorrow. But anyway, so we finally, I don't know if we're over that or not, but we move on, and 2011 rolls around. We had given up our tickets, but my dad bought them, so he had 4 season tickets, and he would take us to a bunch of games and stuff. And the playoffs rolls around. What in the world? I got it. Is that? I don't know if that's coming through on Zanzibar or if it's coming through on Paranormal Among Us channel. But anyway, 2011 comes around, and Cardinals are in the World Series again. So I told everybody that I will go to games 1 through 4 where there is absolutely no chance that the Cardinals can clinch. I don't want any part of that. So unfortunately, it turned out that Dad was there with somebody else. I don't even know if he made it to that game, to the clinching game. But when they won it in 11, I don't think they were there. Both me and my wife were at home watching it, so I learned my lesson. But definitely some great memories being down at the ballpark with Dad and Mom too. She was in a electric scooter for quite a while, so she was able to go to a lot of games. So that was pretty fun. So, but anyway, I believe my wife is going to the conference with us in September. So if you guys are going to the conference in September, Gary, I think you are. Little Patty, I believe you are. Mickey, I know is. You get to meet my wife, but don't mention the World Series game to her. All right. So anyway, guys, I am going to let y'all go. And just remember, next week Right now, it's currently 0-0 Blues and Winnipeg Jets. Remember, next week, we are not going to be doing a show on Zanzibar channel at all. We're not going to be over there anymore. It's all going to be on Paranormal Among Us. So make it a little bit easier on everybody. So it's all going to be on Paranormal Among Us. You'll get if you have your notifications, and I know everybody in chat does. It'll pop up. So, and that'll go. Everybody that's subscribed over there will get to see it. If they want to watch it, fine. If not, that's fine too. Sports aren't for everybody. So, and I get that, and I appreciate everybody being here. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Have a great rest of your week. Tune in to Tex here in about a half an hour, about 38 minutes. Not sure exactly what he's got going on, but I got to go pack. Make sure you turn into BMR Tuesday night. I can't remember who he's got on. I know it's a big name. I can't remember who it is. But make sure you tune into BMR. And all that stuff. So it'll be a fun week. We will see you on next Saturday right here. I will have Ken Gerhardt on with me. I don't know if Krista's going to be here. I doubt if she will. So maybe Tex will fill in for her. So, but everybody, you have a great week. We will see you later. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate everybody, every single one of you. Have a good night, guys.